If you've accumulated a concentrated stock position, whether it's through RSUs from your current employer, founder stock from a company you started, or maybe just a stock position that you've held for the last 20 years that has a significant long-term capital gain embedded in it, there is a series of solutions available to you based on your goals, and it's really going to be different for everyone. Most clients have a similar goal in mind though, and that is a more predictable outcome of the future. What's this portfolio going to look like 10, 20, 30 years down the road? A lot of times you may also want to continue to have the upside potential of that stock position and also mitigate the downside risk. And probably most common is that if you do want to sell stock outright and diversify, you don't want to pay a lot of capital gains tax while doing it. So to solve this problem, it can really only be accomplished through a multifamily office that can tackle it from three different angles. The first angle is income tax reduction in the year of vesting, right? So if we can reduce your income as those RSUs vest, that's going to help in the long run because you have more money in your pocket that's working for you in an outside, potentially diversified investment portfolio. The second component is estate planning. There are some very impactful capital gains deferment strategies that are available through estate and trust planning at the advanced level that can be done through our team. The third component, and likely the most complex, is simple investment planning. Now, the plan for everyone is going to look a little bit different, and it's probably not going to be one solution. Likely it would be a series of solutions. Some of the most common are sell the stock, pay capital gains tax. Most people don't want to do that, understandably so. There's things like variable prepaid forwards, which allow you to collar the position, could put it in a domestic asset protection trust to execute this, and then if you want to, you can also borrow against it. That strategy is going to protect the downside of the stock and also continue to maintain the upside potential of the underlying holding. Exchange funds is one that most clients seem to be familiar with. While not that impactful, it can have a place in a portfolio. You're essentially diversifying away from a single stock, usually one of the big names in the Magnificent Seven, over into the NASDAQ. Now, most likely over the long term, the NASDAQ and that single stock may perform in pretty close correlation. So you're diversifying from one to the other. So it's not going to be super impactful. Plus, you generally have to hold them for 7 years. And eventually, you still have to pay the long-term capital gains tax. You're just deferring it and kicking it down the road. There are some other strategies that enable you to work your way out of a concentrated position over a series of years. Could be 5, 6, or 7, depending on the cost basis, without realizing any long-term capital gains. Essentially, what you're doing is a long-short extension around the stock, which every year is going to create some losses for you, which allows you to then sell some of that RSU position without locking in a gain. Charitable remainder unit trusts is a strategy that's very common. Not for everyone, but if charity is on your list of goals, it could be something to look into. And then, of course, the solution of just selling stock, reinvesting in any way that you choose. So the truth is that a lot of client planning that we do is all of the above or most of the above. We need to reduce tax on the income side. It may require some high-level estate planning, and it's probably going to be a series of 2 or 3 or 4 specific RSU investment strategies. One of them is likely also holding a position in the stock for very long term with the intent for it to be passed along to your beneficiaries and to get that step up in cost basis. If you'd like to learn more about RSU planning and what we do, and if our team might be able to help you, feel free to set up a call.